Some cosplay photos are incredible. They seem highly unrealistic, almost super realistic, maybe like the anime or the comic or whatever they're based on. And there are some secrets being revealed about the reality of fantasy cosplay. This has been a trend recently on many Japanese sites like Kinisoku, Honeypopo. Cosplayers not even showing. Yes, that's how it's pronounced. Stop laughing at me off camera. There are people, cosplayers showing not only their beautiful finished work, but also what went into the process. Let's take a look at a couple if we can. This is the final product of someone wielding a very large sword in an action pose to strike at the heart of something. But in reality, those swords are very heavy and they can't really be held still with one arm for a long time, so help might be necessary. This reminds me of a lot of Final Fantasy swords. Yeah. Like, I've seen, well, there was a previous guest named Brian Forrest, and he's held the Cloud's Buster sword, and it's just like, it's impossible for him to pick it up and stand still for a long time with one arm. It's very heavy.
And I love it when people make Sephiroth's sword too, because it's all wobbly because it's so long. It's like a 9-foot sword.
It shouldn't work at all.
This is not.
So I think what happened here was she wanted to look like she was dreamily looking out the window, but this particular pane was very short.
Right, yeah. See, I would never have that problem, so thank God.
Well,
to be fair though, she was wearing heels, so she could have just taken those off.
I think this right here is a height issue.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The woman is trying to appear shorter, but she's actually not. We see when he's sitting, I think, on his feet over there to appear taller.
What are they cosplaying? Does anybody know?
I'm not positive, to be honest.
Because that looks like a guy in a shirt.
I'm sure the people that are familiar with it know what it is right away and are super angry with us that we don't.
Sorry about that. Just,
nondescript.
So here's a common, you might see it in the intro to mini anime, which is people at the school just hanging out and being chums in the halls. But sometimes it doesn't work, the framing doesn't work with the windows, and you gotta stand on some chairs in your socks awkwardly.
Well, they should have gone to the other school where that girl had to crouch to be in the window. They could have just used those lower windows.
You gotta work with what you got.
This is what we did in high school, though. So.
Oh, and this is a fun picture from Attack on Titan. So that is one of the Titans, not one of the stronger ones. And we see everyone trying to chase after it. But in reality, how did they make her look like that? Well, she's kind of just wearing a nude sweatsuit.
Well, the thing is,
it's a little awkward.
Did they completely replace it? Like, that's the thing. They're like,
I think maybe they blurred it a lot.
We'll just make this in Microsoft Art.
Yeah. I think that was just their friend, and they didn't want to be mean and be like, you can't be in the picture. So they just cropped her out afterwards.
And they put the thing on her. Oh, dear.
But yeah, I guess they did just blur it a little bit because it doesn't look similar at all. But.
And lastly, we have this great picture. It looks like she's holding an icicle or something magical, but in reality, it's a semi-opaque cone. Maybe a filter? I don't know. Again, work with what you got. What do you do, Brandon, when you're trying to make an artful cosplay photo and you don't necessarily have maybe a futuristic backdrop or the things that you might see in the work but not in real life?
A lot of conventions you go to, it's like not many fantasy things happen in white rooms. So, but usually the white room you could just Photoshop out. Most people just use Photoshop to get exactly what they want. But that's why you see a lot of low-angle cosplay shots. It's because they just want to get as much as the sky as possible. Because that's like a neutral thing. Everything has a sky. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I've cosplayed a little bit, but I'm in no way a cosplayer. And I don't know these things about setting up the right atmosphere or mood or whatever.
Yeah, portable fog machine also works great.
What did you use that for?
When I was Sailor Moon, I hid it under my skirt.
No, you didn't, Brandon.
Well, when I do cosplay photography, I find that the making of the costume is like super expensive, and I already have Photoshop, so I just pose nude and then Photoshop whatever costume I want on later.
That is a very intelligent idea.
A lot more practical. So, did you guys want to see those before and after? I have some.
So when you're staging these photos, do you have to think beforehand, or do you show up and be like, oh, damn, this needs to look dramatic?
I'm not like super hardcore, so I just yeah, I just kind of go for it. But I can be picky about it because I do love Dutch angles. Like that's just my thing. But you want to see the full thing. What I need to learn to be better at is sometimes I don't get my full costume. So when I was Dazzler at Comic-Con, I don't have a full picture of me as Dazzler.
And that's disappointing, right?
It is disappointing because I only have it halfway up, and the bottom half's like the best part.
Just gotta show the legs.
What?
That's no, but it's the shoes.
He's wearing the bottom half of the costume now. Why don't you stand up and show the people?
It's denim jeans. That's what Dazzler wears. No, the shoes were great. I don't have any pictures of the shoes. So I think that's something I need to get better at is fully displaying the costumes.
Well, something I love about cosplay is that it's all, you know, a lot of the time it's a learning process. Like, I love this armor. I'm going to learn how to make it because I care so much about this character and so much about this story that I'm just going to do it. And I think maybe photography is the same way.
Yeah.
You're learning the best way to capture the essence of the character or the series that you love. And then sometimes it looks silly in media res, as we've seen. What do you think? And have you staged your own cosplay photographs? And have you done it poorly? Let us know what you think of all of this below in the comments, and please be sure to subscribe.